9. For the discriminant practice solutions. For number 1, we're given 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. So our A is 4, our B is 4, and our C is 1. So if we use our discriminant, that's that B squared minus 4 times A times C, we can see how many solutions that we'd have here. Now this is asking us how many real solutions does the quadratic equation have. So if we plug these values in, we're going to have 4 squared minus 4 times 1. So then if we simplify this, we have 16 minus 16, which is 0. So this is one real solution. For 2, we have 2x squared minus x squared root 5 plus 2 is equal to 0. So our A, this is 4, I'm sorry. Let's move to 2, then we'll go to 4. All right, so this one's x squared minus x plus 3 is equal to 0. So our A is 1, our B is negative 1, and our C is 3. So we're going to have B squared minus 4 times A times C, which is going to give us negative 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3. So negative 1 squared is 1. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. So 1 minus 12 is negative 11. So because we have negative 11, this is a negative number. It's less than 0. So we have 2 imaginary solutions. For 3, we have x squared minus 8x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. So we are going to combine like terms here. We get negative 7x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. So our A is negative 7, our B is 0, and our C is negative 9. So plugging these in, we're going to have 0 squared minus 4 times 7 times negative 9. The 0 squared is 0. The negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. Negative 28 times negative 9 is a positive 252. So because we get a positive number here, we have 2 real solutions. For 4, we have 2x squared minus x squared root 5 plus 2 is equal to 0. So our A for this one is 2, our B is the square root of 5, and our C is 2. So we're going to have the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times 2. The square root of 5 squared is 5. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. So 5 minus 16 gives us negative 11. Again, we have a negative number, so we have 2 imaginary solutions. For 5, we're given x squared over 2 minus x plus 1/4 is equal to 0. So our A is 1/2, our B is negative 1, and our C is 1/4. So we have 1/2 squared minus 4 times, it's negative 1 squared, not 1/2, negative 1 squared minus 4 times A, which is 1/2, times C, which is 1/4. So this is going to be, the negative 1 squared is positive 1, negative 4 times 1/2 is negative 2, negative 2 times 1/4 is negative 1/2. So this is going to be 1 minus 1/2, which is a positive 1/2. This is a positive answer, so we have 2 real solutions. For 6, we have x squared over 4 minus x squared root 7 plus 7 is equal to 0. So our a is 1/4. Our b is the negative square root of 7, and c is 7. So plugging this in, b squared, negative square root 7 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1/4, times c, which is 7. The negative square root 7 squared is just a positive 7. The negative 4 times 1/4 is negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. So 7 minus 7 is 0. This is 1 real solution. For 7, we have x squared over 2 minus x square root 2 plus 1 is equal to 0. So our a is 1/2. Our b is negative square root 2, and our c is 1. So this is going to be the negative square root 2 squared minus 4 times 1/2 times 1. The negative square root 2 squared is going to be a positive 2. Negative 4 times 1/2 is negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. We have 1 real solution. For 8, why did I skip? Okay, so for 8, we have x squared square root 2 minus x plus 1/2 is equal to 0. So our a is the square root of 2, our b is the negative 1, and our c is 1/2. So this is going to give us b squared, so negative 1 squared minus 4 times a, which is the square root of 2, times 1/2. So this is going to be 1 minus the 4 times 1/2 is 2 times the square root of 2 is 2 square root of 2. So negative 2 square root of 2. 1 minus 2 square root of 2 is going to give us a negative number. So this negative number is going to tell us that we have 2 imaginary solutions. For 13, we have y is equal to x squared minus 5 plus 5. So our a is 1, our b is negative 5, and our c is 5. So plugging this in, b squared, negative 5 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 5. 5 squared is 25. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, times 9 is negative 20. 25 minus 20 is 5. That's a positive number, so we have 2 real solutions. For 14, we have y is equal to negative x squared plus 3x plus 6. So our a is negative 1, our b is 3, and our c is 6. So we are going to get b squared, which is 3 squared, minus 4 times a, which is negative 1, times c, which is 6. From here, we're going to have 9 minus 4 times negative 1 is a positive 4, times 6 is 24. So 9 plus 24 is 33. This is a positive number, so we have 2 real solutions. For 15, we're given y is equal to x squared plus 16 minus 8x. So we're going to turn this around to where it's in standard form. We would have x squared minus 8x plus 16. So our a is 1, our b is negative 8, and our c is 16. So this is going to give us negative 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times 16. The negative 8 squared is 64. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, times 16 is negative 64. The 64 minus 64 is 0, so we get 1 real solution. For is 16. We're given y is equal to 2x squared plus 4x plus 3. So our a is 2, our b is 4, and our c is 3. So this is going to be 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times 3. The 4 squared is 16. The negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. So 16 minus 24 is going to give us the 6. This is going to be negative. The 4 becomes a 14, making the 2 a 1. So 14 minus 6 gives us 8. Negative 8 is a negative number, so we have 2 imaginary numbers. Oops. For 17, we have y is equal to 7x plus 2 minus 3x squared. So we're just going to rearrange this to be negative 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. So our a is negative 3, our b is 7, our c is 2. So using this, we're going to do b squared, so 7 squared minus 4 times negative 3 times 2. 7 squared is 49. The negative 4 times 3 is positive 12, times 2 is going to give us 24, so 49 plus 24. The 4 and the 9 give us 13. The 2, which is a 3, plus 4 is 7. 73 is a positive number, so that's 2 real solutions. For our last question, we have y is equal to 4x squared plus 2x minus 1. So our a is 4, our b is 2, and our c is negative 1. So this is going to give us b squared, so 2 squared minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is negative 1. From here, we're going to have 4 minus the 4 times 4 is 16, times the negative 1 turns this to a positive 16. 4 plus 16 is 20, so we have 2 real solutions.